Morning, Ebony from Magnetic Business Development. Something we see quite a lot when we take on our new clients is they might have a database full of contacts that they're just really not maximising. So sometimes, I mean, it's scary to see, but sometimes they'll have literally their database will be an Excel spreadsheet and they're not using a CRM of any kind, which, you know, I do get it, but it isn't the way that things should be done when you're trying to manage an effective pipeline. You need to have a really good CRM system to be able to manage those relationships properly. But what we would do when we take on these new clients is we'll have that dialogue with them. We'll get them to look at their databases and look at who the opportunities that can be found within that data. So a really good exercise, you know, obviously you don't need to work with Magnetic Business Development to help you do these things, but just a sort of a tip then for anyone who's perhaps got a database full of records that they're just, you know, going over and over, ringing the same people and not necessarily making headway, and they've perhaps reached a ceiling in their business, is there's often a lot of either dead wood amongst that data, which you really need to just strip out and you know, nuke it, and so that you never waste any more time going forwards ringing those prospects that you're never going to get any work from. But then also within that data there will be opportunities, significant opportunities quite often. So if, say, you're working with a company who has a national presence and you're just working with one of their branches or one of their regions, then absolutely you should be leveraging that relationship and looking to get in with other you know, sites and other projects that they might be working on. When we're representing our clients who perhaps look after the construction sector, they're targeting the construction sector, they would also we wouldn't just target one person within an organisation, we would target multiple people. So when it comes to construction, for example, you would have project managers, multiple project managers, often on a national basis, so therefore, you know, you've got lots and lots of project managers in the database. Then you'd have contracts managers, you'd have estimators, you'd have procurement, you'd have supply chain, you'd have buyers. So just because you've got one company in your database, that actually could generate multiple opportunities, and it's certainly important to be known by a lot of people, a lot of decision makers, and obviously the right decision makers, so that they can, you know, people do talk. Something that is also important is don't just sort of get onto a supply chain, because if people don't know who you are, it's all very well ticking the boxes and filling in the forms and sending in your PQQs, but if you're just sat on a database and you haven't met with anybody and haven't begun to forge a relationship with somebody, then they won't know who you are, and then they won't therefore look to use your services, because they won't think to use you. So yeah, so if you have got a database, really sort of mine that data and look to see what opportunities you can get out of it, and then cull anything that's you know, redundant and that you're not going to get anything from. Don't just recruit another salesperson to go through the same data and you know, prospect to the same data for years and years and years, because you're just wasting a lot of time and money in doing that. Anyway, if you need help with any of those things, we're looking at our January prospecting schedule now. So if you are looking to outsource your sales function and want to hand it over to a company like Magnetic Business Development, please do. We now have lots of clients who have multiple days, so that hopefully is proof that, you know, what we do what we say we're going to do. We've also got clients who've been with us, I think the longest is about 8 years now, and we've got, you know, several others that we've worked with for many years, so that also is testament to the effort and the work that we do. Here's to a fantastic day. Cheers.